So in Onondaga, you're born and you're given a wooden lacrosse stick. Literally, the moment a boy is born in Onondaga, they're given a wooden lacrosse stick. It's believed that you're born into lacrosse and you die with lacrosse. It's much more than a game in Onondaga and in most Iroquois nations. It's a way of life. I grew up here. I think that it's nice that my family's been here for generation after generation. It's always good to come out here, clear your mind. Being a pro lacrosse player, you got to be able to perform. Training, fitness, that's what I'm all about. And that's kind of my edge. You know, I'm in great shape always. I'm always trying to be bigger, stronger, faster. I'm just trying to lay them out. That's my job, you know what I mean? This is Thompson's house. Their dad built this house. I remember when I first came here, it was just the first floor, 2 rooms. The Dewala that's awards on is a award that they give out to basically the world's best lacrosse player. And in 2014, it was split by brothers. Miles and Lyle split the award. So with the new year, there's been a couple changes with the corporate structure at TBL. When TBL came on board, there's an opportunity for us to bring it to a different path. A game about respect, paying homage to the culture, the history, bringing it back to its roots. In my mind, these are the best lacrosse players to ever grace the face of the earth. They have a unique story, and we got to tell that story. And if I fail, and they have to get regular 9-to-5 jobs, and they can't live off of lacrosse like some players do, then I take that as failure. This is where I grew up. Oh, someone clipped his mirror. He's not going to be happy about that. This is the homestead, man. This is where I grew up. Coco, what's up, Coco? There's a young thriller in Art Monk. What's up, Pop?
Oh, he was kind of a handful, that's for sure, yeah. He kept us busy, that's for sure, you know. But yeah, they were good kids. I played hockey, you know, and I played it right up to college. And, you know, but there wasn't that connection between being native and being a hockey player, you know, as there is with lacrosse. Bill actually is very outgoing, very photogenic, a nice guy. So I think he's good for the game of lacrosse and bringing the culture into it.
I'm really excited to just go out there with the new team, the 2017 Black Wolves, and show people what we're made of. We've got all the right pieces in place, from the coaching staff, management, all the way down through our last guy on the roster. I think it goes without saying, but Sean Evans, he's a 2-time world champion. His pedigree speaks for itself. Then you got guys like Kevin Crowley, who could be a star player on any team. Another guy I'm really excited about is Seth Oakes. I've only seen Seth play once or twice, but the aura the guy gives off is pure toughness. If we're not hoisting the cup at the end of the year, then I don't think we've done what we've set out to do.
Oh, a little adventure is all I really need. Oh, little adventure I really need.
Pretty much every night. Come down, keep your stick in your hand, you know, feel the floor, throw the ball off the glass, do some ground balls, get some reps in just hitting the ball off the wall. every night. Here's the future right here, Lee. Say what up, man. That flow, you see he's growing it out, looking good. It's cool because there's 6 pros, you know, that live here in Onondaga, and we come down here, we play catch, we play pickup games. You guys can become pro. You guys can play pro lacrosse. Just watch us, see what we did, and try to follow that same path. The path is there, it's just a matter of following it.
We've been playing together since Kevin's rookie year, so that was 2011. So 6 years we've been playing together. But now sign is. That's where it all started. To be able to come back here, and they always welcome me with open arms. Like this, I tell, like, this school made me who I am, and it's one of the only schools in the area that actually had lacrosse. This place is, it means the world to me, and like I said, it's kind of, it feels like my home now since my parents don't live where I grew up. It's pretty special.
Audio Jungle.
Listen, we played 3 sports growing up our whole lives. So we played soccer, baseball, basketball. Lacrosse was actually the last sport that we played.
Well, we were kind of late bloomers as far as lacrosse goes. We didn't get started till 7th, 8th grade. But we played growing up, played in high school at Holy Ghost, and then had a much shorter career at Delaware than Brett did, but it was fun. We had a good time with it.
We were outside playing soccer and practicing lacrosse and doing all those other things. When people say, oh, you gotta find a wall, it was like, no, I got a twin brother that I can just have a pass with.
Audio Jungle.
Kevin and I mean, being an offensive and a defensive guy, and we've been together, it's great to get his insight. We're close. I mean, I was just thinking about this the other day. It's the longest I've ever played with someone. I joke around because, like, I got to go in the office all the time. Like, the fact that Kevin's actually up right now and it's 10 o'clock, like, this isn't how he usually is. He usually likes to be, like, in his sweats, and who knows what he does during the day.
Brett's the type of guy who will go check someone on the opposite side of the floor just to avoid me. And I think he'd admit he's slowed down at his old age now, so he's, he tries to avoid our right side. We got a couple quick guys there, and he just knows he can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, well, I've been training Kev for 3 years now, and I think it's awesome. Kev's great. He works hard, trains hard, and he really wants to prepare himself for the season.
Couldn't bench my own weight when I came into college. It was pretty pathetic, to be honest.
The one thing that you have to do is just you have to make sure you're training all of the qualities that he needs to be prepared for the season. We're going to work on strength, we're going to work on rotational power, agility, conditioning, mobility, flexibility.
When I was younger, I wanted to get, muscle bound, like jacked, and now it's kind of more into injury prevention and career longevity. I think Americans are starting to recognize that they need to incorporate the box game into their training, and that's what our club program, Fusion Lacrosse, does. You look at all the top scorers in the NCAA over the past couple years, they've all been Canadian. Our kids make their biggest strides over the winter when they're playing indoors in the small area and they're moving the ball around and cutting and finding those lanes. I think the box game draws, not just a lacrosse fan. I think it draws someone who loves, the action, maybe like someone like hockey who, wants to come out and see the occasional fight. They want to see the big hits. They want to see, a ton of goals being scored.
And I think it's a great entertainment value that you're inside. You don't ever have to worry about Mother Nature, and there's music playing. There's a shot clock. There's loud hits. The wild man out. It's pronounced Next Sports. We're a sports and education company, The one side is event management, and that's where we put on 42 events across the country, lacrosse tournaments. And then the other side, we teach boys and girls lacrosse and develop them through camps, clinics, and club teams. It started here, so some weekly wins. We just had a discussion about how to fix our own model within our education program to do more box. They're able to incorporate some of the box skill and toughness and the IQ. They're only going to be better lacrosse players. You just have to continue to preach that because the proof's in the pudding.
Kind of dedicated my life to lacrosse and growing the game however I can and teaching kids, and it's something I really enjoy doing. I've been coaching at Shipley for 5 years now. This is where I coach 6th grade in the morning, middle school in the afternoon. Then I head over to the farm fields and coach the varsity. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I take pride in, being able to have a strong input on these kids' lives. We're lucky to be in this gym. Let's make the most of it. First things first. I find that American kids like to hang their stick and they're a little bit slower with their motions. If I don't have my stick right here, it's over here and I see a guy cutting. By the time I bring that stick up here to throw that, the opportunity's already gone. I think that's part on the coach to make those practices that can be tedious, to make them fun in a way.
Yeah, and now these kids are getting taught that from a young age. Like Kevin was saying, it's only going to help their field game grow when they understand that mental aspect of understanding you don't always have to shoot the ball 100 miles an hour to go in. And that's why you see at the collegiate level, the guys who score all the goals usually have a Native American or a Canadian background because they get it.
Let's go to Miguel.
There isn't a lot of time to be very social. Got to find that right balance of finding those times.
We get to hang out, obviously we talk about how great of a guy Brett is, we get to do fun stuff like that. Mike Kettle, another guy, Philly guy, equipment manager for the Black Wolves, he's in town, so.
I started out in Philadelphia just helping out the equipment manager probably since 2009. So I've known the guys since they've been on the team, and I mean, those guys are great. I love Brett, I love Kevin. They're fun to hang out with.
My hair is looking
a little greasy.
It's good as it does now.
A little greasy, I would say.
That's not grease, buddy. That's
sweat.
just a natural sheen.
Sheldon Burns said it the other week that I was the most fashionable guy on the team, and I appreciate that, Sheldon. I try, but
no one can figure out if you're actually stylish or you just lost your mind in terms of style.
I follow some people on Instagram that give me some good fashion ideas, but the proof's in the pudding. I think people like what they see. No one said that to me. So
no one wears turtlenecks anymore, Brett.
The turtleneck is coming back. The amount of compliments I got off of that is phenomenal.
It's springtime. No one's wearing a turtleneck.
Spring. It was 40 degrees the other day.
I enjoyed the family aspect about it. I mean, I consider all the guys my brothers.
I love Sean Evans. I mean, a guy that we brought in last year.
I think Evans has made me a better player and introduced me to different ways to score the ball that I never imagined.
Derek Suddens and Brett Bucktooth, guys have been around for a while and growing stars like Sheldon Burns.
I think what Bill O'Brien does is great because he's like a role model for the game of lacrosse in terms of how you should be in the weight room all the time, how you should eat, and he's always preaching that through his social media. What him and the Thompson brothers are doing, I think it's great for the game.
I think it's great. There's really no egos. Kevin's my longest tenured teammate that I've ever played with. I love having him here, and like I said previously, what he brings to the city, and he's able to teach the kids of Philadelphia about his box background, I think is second to none.
Yeah, I mean, I can say the same thing for Brett running his next program. Any name you hear that comes out of those guys' mouth, it's always Brett Manny and how great of a coach he is.
My name's Sean Evans. I'm a professional lacrosse player in the National Lacrosse League for the New England Black Wolves in Connecticut in the United States. I'm a two-time National Lacrosse League MVP, and I'm a two-time gold medalist with Team Canada. Little home cooking here before the wife gets home. when I'm done work, it's usually about 3:30. So I usually get the kids' food made and then get her food made. But she usually comes home and makes usually her own stuff because she likes to make me and her a little bit healthier stuff than chicken fingers and stuff like that. So I think every ring has a meaning. Every time you play on a team, the bond that you share with your teammates and the fun that you have throughout that year is a huge why you win championships. Yeah, I think eventually I'll hopefully get them on display, but when I'm done playing, I'll worry about that.
Bye, Father.
Bye, love you. Bye. That year was a good one. You don't get too many of those ones of winning 3 championships in one year, but I think that's what's kind of started off my career of a lacrosse player. I think the will to win is the main factor with me and with my championships. I believe I always kind of have a chip on my shoulder. It is tough, when you feel like you're at the top level of the game and leading the league in scoring for multiple years. Yeah, you feel sometimes it gets overlooked. But at the same time, you can't think about that. Being small, it's you got to work for everything you have, and you got to compete. Yeah, so we're just pulling the practice right here. This is our practice facility that we practice on Tuesday nights. Time to suit up. Put some work in this week.
He's one of the best in the world. Again, not a big guy, wears his heart on his sleeve.
Oh, he's right up there with everybody.
But he's a 2-time MVP of the league. He's a World Championship MVP, scoring leader.
It's not a cliche to say that he has the it factor. I mean, he sees things happening on the floor that other people don't see.
But I think Evie just has a different intangible that makes him a winner.
He definitely is a student of the game as much as he's feisty and rambunctious at times out there.
He's got a high octane motor all the time, and that's part of the formula for his success.
He's going to do whatever it takes to win. And I think, again, that's the difference and why he's been so successful.
This just gets me going here before game time. A little work in, put the work in, hey?
So I grew up playing hockey and lacrosse in Peterborough, Ontario, where Sean's from. We grew up playing together, both sports. He always was somebody that was going to push you. Even at a young age, it was perform or get out sort of mentality.
It's an addiction. Having the stick in your hands and throwing the ball around. When you see anybody do trick shots or throwing those ball or backhands, switch hand backhands, under the legs, through the 5-hole, whatever shot you want to think about is it starts from wall ball. It starts from trying that stuff outside. You're in Canada, Tim Hortons is the best coffee, and you go get Starbucks. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're just heading off to Port Hope, Ontario, which is about a half-hour away from Peterborough. Well, welcome to my job. Best job you can have. Nationwide lacrosse is kind of something that we created about 5 years ago. The biggest thing that we do is travel to elementary schools and teach Canada's national summer sport to kind of the next generation of kids. A lot of people think that lacrosse is violent, but what we do is we teach the skills of the game, trapping and scooping, passing and catching, cradling, and then bring that into a fun competitive relay race at the end, working on those skills. Probably wouldn't be the person I am today without my mom, dad, and my brothers and my sister. Everything that we did was competitive. We all wanted to win. My mom working in Emerge, and my dad had a little bit of stint in sports, and it wasn't paying a lot of money back in the day like it is now, but my mom and dad, they would be there for us. My wife too. My wife allows me to go out there and compete and play and knows how much love I have for the game of lacrosse. Where's my girl? I can't complain about my life. I've had some struggles in my life, but always had supportive family around me.
In the Live Flock City, lacrosse isn't just a game, it's a passion. It's not just something you watch or play. Canada's national sport is who they are.
Coming up here on the right is kind of like my second home in Peterborough. The Memorial Center's got a lot of history. It's a great spot, especially when you're on the front of the building. It always looks good too. 13 years of lacrosse since I was 16 years old. It's a long time, and going. A lot of history in here from my family, from my uncles and my dad playing for the Peterborough Petes. We got the Sports Hall of Fame in here, and I got a few different jerseys in there from Man Cups. This is probably the best feeling here, right here, is walking out here to a sold out Memorial Center. The fans know the game of lacrosse here. When they're yelling at you because you did something wrong, and they know what they're talking about. What comes to mind is me being 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I knew every ins and out of this arena. It does bring a lot of memories back being a kid here. It's funny, where's the time go? Lacrosse has been my life. I've been playing 27 years now, 28 maybe. And if it wasn't for lacrosse, I don't know where I'd be right now. I may not be around playing still when lacrosse takes off, but at least if I'm part of it and see that take off, means so much to me.